Imagine your cat curled beside you, warm, purring like a tiny broken motor. You reach down and stroke its head. Perfect. Then the back. Still fine. Then suddenly, without warning, it turns, grabs your hand with both paws, sinks its teeth into your skin, and looks at you like you are the problem. For one ridiculous second, the room becomes a crime scene. You were showing affection. The cat was purring. No one declared war. And yet your hand is now trapped inside a small predator with decorative ears. The easy answer is that cats are moody. That sounds satisfying because it lets humans feel innocent. But it is too simple. Because that sudden bite is not random madness. It is not betrayal. It is not your cat secretly plotting revenge because dinner was 6 minutes late. The bite is a signal. And the strange part is that the signal comes from an animal living two lives at once. One life is the soft companion sleeping on your blanket. The other is an ancient nervous system built for hunting, defending, escaping, and controlling what touches its body. The problem begins with a misunderstanding. Humans often treat petting like a language of love. More touching means more affection. Longer contact means deeper bonding. But cats did not evolve as tiny dogs with sharper software. Cats are different. They are social, but not in the same way. They are hunters, but not large ones. They are predators, but also small enough to be vulnerable. In the wild, an animal that can kill a mouse can still be killed by something bigger. That creates a nervous system with a brutal rule. Control matters. A cat survives by choosing distance, cover, approach, and escape. Its body is not cute furniture. It is equipment. Whiskers, skin, claws, tail, teeth, ears. Every part is wired into a map of danger and opportunity. So when you pet a cat, you are not just giving affection, you are crossing into that map. And the map has borders. In 2002, Susan Seneckson and Arnold Kamov tested how cats responded when owners petted different body regions. The cats showed more positive responses around the temporal region, between the eyes and ears, and more negative responses near the caudal region, around the tail. That detail changes the whole story. Because humans often pet cats as if the entire animal is one continuous comfort zone. Head, back, base of tail, belly if you are feeling brave or foolish. But the cat does not experience its body as one invitation. Some regions are socially meaningful. The head and cheek areas are where cats often rub, mark scent, greet, and exchange familiar signals. When your finger scratches there, it may resemble something the cat already understands. Other regions are more sensitive, defensive, or tied to arousal. The base of the tail is not just another patch of fur. For some cats, touching it is exciting. For others, it is irritating. For some, it flips the switch from pleasant contact to too much contact almost instantly. This is where the common explanation appears. Overstimulation. You pet the cat too long. The skin and nerves keep firing. What began as pleasant becomes intense, then annoying, then unbearable. The purring continues because purring is not a simple happiness meter. Comfort and tension can overlap. That explanation is partly right, but it does not explain everything. Because sometimes the cat bites after only a few strokes. Sometimes it bites while leaning into your hand. Sometimes it bites and then stays nearby, as if even it is not fully committed to the lawsuit. That is where the story gets stranger. A petting bite may not be one emotion. It may be several motivations colliding in one small body. The cat may want contact, but only on its terms. It may enjoy the first seconds, then feel trapped by the continuation. It may be relaxed enough to stay, but alert enough to object. It may be making the fastest correction available to an animal whose mouth is part tool, part weapon, part communication device. This is uncomfortable because humans prefer clean labels: happy cat, angry cat, mean cat, sweet cat. But behavior rarely fits into those boxes. A cat can want affection and still need it to stop. A cat can trust you and still dislike your hand moving toward its stomach. A cat can purr and still be warning you with its tail. And that is the part many people miss. The bite is usually not the first message. It is the message humans finally notice. Before the teeth, there are often smaller signals. A human sees a pet still sitting there and thinks consent continues by default. The cat may be saying the contract is expiring, but humans are terrible at reading quiet refusal. Not just with cats. With almost everything. In 2015, Sarah Ellis and colleagues published a study in Applied Animal Behavior Science that tested body region, handler familiarity, and stroking order. Cats again showed the strongest negative responses when the caudal region was touched. More surprisingly, familiar people produced higher negative response scores than unfamiliar people. Think about that. Your cat may be less polite with you because you are familiar. The stranger gets restraint, you get honesty. That sounds insulting until you realize how intimate it is. The bite may happen where the cat feels safest expressing a boundary, not because it hates you, because it assumes the relationship will survive the correction. Still, the skeptic deserves a serious place here. Maybe people overcomplicate this. Maybe some cats are poorly socialized. Maybe some were handled roughly as kittens, touched too much, grabbed when they wanted distance, or punished for warning signs. Maybe pain is involved. Arthritis, skin irritation, dental trouble, injury, or a hidden medical problem can turn ordinary touch into a threat. Maybe the bite has nothing ancient or profound behind it. Maybe your cat is just done with your nonsense. That explanation matters. Because sometimes the most scientific answer is the least cinematic one. A cat that suddenly changes may be hurting. A cat that bites hard, breaks skin, growls, hides, or reacts to touch in new places may need a veterinarian, not a philosophical documentary about your ancestors. So, no, every bite is not a mystical message from the savannah, but the boring explanation still sits inside the bigger one. Because even pain, fear, and poor socialization act through the same ancient control system. The question is not whether the cat is nice or mean. The question is what the cat's nervous system has learned to expect when something larger reaches down and takes control of its body. That is the hidden asymmetry. To you, petting is gentle. To the cat, your hand belongs to a creature many times its size. You decide when the contact starts. You decide where it lands. You decide how long it continues. You may even follow the cat when it shifts away, because the human brain is very good at turning rejection into a negotiation. To the cat, that can change affection into pressure. And pressure changes the meaning of touch. In 2021, Charlotte Haywood, Lauren Finca, and colleagues tested practical human-cat interaction guidelines built around choice, attention, and touch. When people gave cats more control, paid closer attention to body language, and limited touch mainly to preferred areas, cats showed more affiliative behavior and less aggression. That finding is almost embarrassingly simple. Let the cat decide more. Get bitten less. The sudden bite reveals a human habit older than the living room. Humans assume affection should be received the way it is offered. But animals do not experience your intention directly. They experience pressure, timing, touch, escape routes, body position, and memory. Your love enters through their skin, and skin has opinions. A cat that remains in place may be calm, or conflicted, or calculating whether violence is now administratively necessary. The honest answer is not that cats bite because they are evil, dramatic, ungrateful little goblins. Though they do sometimes make a strong case, they bite because touch is complicated, because affection can become restraint, because pleasure can become overload, because domestication changed the cat's address faster than it changed the cat's nervous system, and because somewhere inside the animal beside you is a survival logic that does not care how cute the moment felt 5 seconds ago. Next time your cat is purring under your hand, remember the scene correctly. You are not petting a stuffed animal. You are negotiating with a predator small enough to fit in your lap and ancient enough to distrust being trapped there. The bite is not sudden. You just arrived late to the conversation.